Here are 5 rules about embedded sentences in adjective clauses and ways that characteristics of the embedded sentence affect the adjective clause. Rule 1. The relative pronoun cannot be omitted if it stands for the subject of the embedded sentence. So here is one of the sentences in your reading. One of my favorite movies is Close Encounters of the Third Kind, a science fiction film which was made by Steven Spielberg in 1977. So here is your main sentence. One of my favorite movies is Close Encounters of the Third Kind, a science fiction film. And the embedded sentence is adding more information here. This science fiction film was made by Steven Spielberg in 1977. So this is the subject of this embedded sentence, and up here, that's what the which is standing for. And because this is the subject of the embedded sentence, you cannot leave out this relative pronoun. You must have that in the sentence. Rule 2, the relative pronoun can be omitted if it stands for an object in the embedded sentence. So we have this sentence, one thing I like about this movie is the acting. Or you could say one thing that I like about this movie is the acting. Here's your main sentence. One thing is the acting. And the embedded sentence is I like one thing about the movie. So the relative pronoun is standing for this object of like. So it's optional whether you use the relative pronoun or not. I can say one thing I like about this movie or one thing that I like about this movie, because the that refers to this object in the embedded sentence. Okay, whose. This is the third rule we're going to look at. We use whose as the relative pronoun to replace a possessive in the embedded sentence. So, the main character is an ordinary man whose name is Roy. Okay, so the main character is an ordinary man, and the embedded sentence is his name is Roy, or the man's name is Roy. Here's a possessive. So when I put it all together, I get this whose for the relative pronoun. That little slash is a mistake. It should be a period. Here's a fourth rule. You can use where as a relative pronoun when there's a preposition of place in the embedded sentence. So here is a sentence from your reading. The movie has scenes that take place in a lot of different places in different parts of the world where a team of scientists travel to investigate messages from a spaceship. So your main sentence is the movie has scenes that take place in a lot of different places in different parts of the world. And then the embedded sentence is a team of scientists travel to different parts of the world to investigate messages from a spaceship. Okay, here is your preposition of place, and that's why you have where for a relative pronoun. If you don't want to replace the two, you could also say different parts of the world to which, keeping the pronoun and using which. So where or to which are both correct in this sentence, but I use where when I'm taking out and replacing that preposition. And the fifth rule, all right, there's my dog barking. I'm going to stop a minute. Okay, rule 5, use when as a relative pronoun when there's a preposition of time in the embedded sentence. So in the end, when the spaceship finally lands on a mesa in Colorado, it turns out that the visitors from outer space are friendly ambassadors. So here's your main sentence. In the end, it turns out that the visitors from outer space are friendly ambassadors. So at that time, or in the end, that time at the end, the spaceship finally lands on a mesa in Colorado. This is your embedded sentence, and here you see there's a preposition of time in the embedded sentence, and that is why you use when as a relative pronoun.